Opening week presented by Burger King, and tonight here at cloudy Dodger Stadium, Dodgers looking to make it a clean 3-game sweep and winning their 6th game in their first 7 so far this season. Vin Scully still under the weather. We expect him back soon. In the meantime, Charlie Steiner, Steve Lyons, we welcome you to Dodger Stadium. The middle of the Dodger lineup so far has been terrific in the first week of the season. Matt Kemp, Andre Ethier, Juan Rivera, all hitting .348 or better. They have driven in 22 of the Dodgers' 27 runs. But it's the guys at the top of the lineup who are really making things happen.
Yeah, you got to have those table setters, and this year the Dodgers have those. And that starts off with D. Gordon. And right now, D. Gordon's only hitting about .230, but he has the attitude of like he's hitting about .330. And when he does get on, he scores runs. So far, 5 runs on the season, 5 stolen bases. It's a completely different attitude of the rest of the guys in the lineup when he does get on. And of course, when he gets on, you got to have someone to get him over. Here's a guy, Mark Ellis. You know he's going to be about a .260 hitter when it's all said and done. Right now, he's hitting about .175, but so productive are his outs. He moves guys over, he gets them in, he's doing exactly what his job is.
Jeff Carson's pitching for the Pirates tonight. Chris Capuano makes his 2nd start for the Dodgers, his 1st here at Dodger Stadium. We come back, we get a chance to meet Chris Capuano and all his little friends. Dodger baseball on deck. .33-year-old Chris Capuano graduated from Duke Phi Beta Kappa in economics. He brings with him tonight a half a dozen different pitches, and now Chris introduces you to his little friends.
My name is Chris Capuano, and these are the pitches I throw. I'm going to start out with a basic 4-seam fastball here. Fingers across the seam. This ball is going to have the most control of this ball. I'm going to be throwing it inside to right-handers, away to left-handers. If I'm going to elevate on somebody, this is the pitch I'm going to use to try to get a little extra on it. Next, move to the 2-seam fastball. This is a conventional 2-seam grip. I actually throw it like this so I can actually have some seams to pull off of. When you throw it like this, you're still getting the same 2-seam spin that you would if you hold it along the seams. This is just a 2-seam fastball that works for me. I'll use this into left-handers or away to right-handers. Another sinking fastball, I call it the 1-seam pitch. take a two-seam grip, turn it sideways here. Now I'm throwing just like this. It's almost one seam rotation, and that's going to have a lot of sink on it. I'll use that to transition into my changeup. The reason I throw that one seam is I'll take a two-seam grip, I'll turn it over, grab it with basically 3 fingers like this, and it's really like almost like a palm ball pitch. It's choked way back, and this is how I get 10 to 12 miles an hour off my fastball. I'm able to throw this to right-handers, get it to sink, get them to chase the ball out of the zone. Next, I'll show you a cut fastball, 4-seam grip. I'm going to turn it about a quarter turn here, push right through it. This ball I'm going to run in on right-handers. I might use this to try to get a double play or try to get a jam shot off right-handers, maybe away to left-handers to get them to chase it. Finally, breaking ball, typical slider grip right here. I'm going to stay behind this one, throw a slider or a breaking ball. I might throw one backdoor with this grip, or I might even turn it a little more and throw more of a conventional curveball that's a little slower. Try to maybe down it into right-handers, down to left-handers, get them to chase. That's about it.
Chris Capuano, an 11-game winner in New York last year, seeking his first win with the Dodgers tonight. Dodgers and Pirates are on deck. A cloudy, chilly night here at Dodger Stadium in Los Angeles. We are expecting rain, but not until the latter stages of the ball game or perhaps after midnight. In the meantime, the Dodgers are looking to make it 6-1 to become the first 6-1 team in the major leagues. The Dodgers haven't had this kind of a start since 1999 at 5-1. They were 6-0 in 1981. And Clint Hurdle has put this lineup together. The Pirates have really been struggling offensively as a team, hitting just .189. So Hurdle is shuffling the deck a little bit again tonight. Tabata and Harrison. Andrew McCutchen has been a steady presence. Casey McGee in his first year with the Pirates. Jamaico Navarro in left field. Clint Barnes, who hit the home run last night, his only hit of the season so far. Pedro Alvarez, Michael McHenry, and Jeff Karstens, the right-hander, to be facing the 33-year-old left-hander Chris Capuano, making his second start of the year.
Now you see the no decision he got there at San Diego when he was just sailing along into the fifth inning with a 5-0 lead, and then, boy, he just lost the plate, lost control, couldn't throw a strike anymore. Don Mattingly had to get him out of there. There was a bunch of walks in that ball game. San Diego went on to tie that game 5-5. The Dodgers won it in extra innings, but you could see the type of numbers that Capuano can throw up there for the first 4 innings, just the consistency. You heard him tell you about all the pitches that he throws, and he's not afraid to invent one every once in a while, too.
Capuano, a year ago, 31 starts in New York with a record of 11-12 and an ERA of 4.5. So the Dodgers looking to sweep the Pittsburgh Pirates, who have lost 13 of their last 15 here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers have won 5 in a row and 8 of their last 9 against the Pirates, who are 2 up and 3 down. The Dodgers begin play tonight a half a game in front of Arizona in the National League West. Jose Tabata, Josh Harrison, and Andrew McCutchen, the first 3 hitters of the night, to face the 33-year-old left-hander Chris Capuano, who graduated Duke, magna cum laude, in economics. He's been economical in his pitch count throughout his career. He's always been a very good control pitcher, although his first start, as Steve mentioned, was a rugged one. Tabata takes a strike, and it's 0-1. He's just got 3 hits in 18 at-bats so far. He's yet to walk. He's been struck out a couple of times. So Capuano, who grew up in West Springfield, Massachusetts, delivers outside and low. 1 ball, 1 strike. He's used to this kind of weather. Standing as Ted Lilly does, way on the third base side of the rubber. And he gets ahead 1-2.
Good changeup right there from Capuano, who used that to both lefties and right-handers. Tabata was the guy who led off the game, the first game of the series, didn't even make the lineup last night. Now he's back in that leadoff spot again against the lefties.
Ball strike 3. Defensively for the Dodgers tonight, Dodgers have made but 2 errors all season. Rivera and Kemp and Ethier in the outfield. And the usual suspects in the infield, Uribe and Gordon and Ellis and Loney. Capuano pitching to A.J. Ellis. So with 1 out, nobody on, Josh Harrison steps into the batter's box. Has had 1 at-bat and 1 double. Capuano throwing strikes. It's 0-1 in the series so far. The Pirates collectively against Dodger pitching hitting 177, 11 for 62, hitless with runners in scoring position. And so far, including the strikeout of Tabata to begin the game, Dodger pitching has struck out 19 Pirates, and they have yet to walk 1. Kershaw standing next to Ted Lilly. Kershaw, of course, had a terrific night on Tuesday, on opening day. Here's the 0-2. High and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. When he struck out 7 and didn't walk anybody. Last night, Billingsley, 6 innings, 1 run, 5 hits, 4 strikeouts, and no walks. There's Bills. The 1-2 on the way. Well, Capuano has struck out the first 2 batters he's faced.
Nothing fancy, too. Capuano's a guy who's going to have to come at you with what he's got. And that's just a little cut fastball in the inner half. Both guys just staring at strike 3. They go sit down, and Cappy pretty happy about it.
So far, a third of the Pirate at-bats in this series. The hitters have fallen behind 0-2.
What was it, 11 times against Kershaw?
Well, the Dodger pitching so far this season against the Padres and the Pirates, an ERA of 2.7, and the opposing hitters are hitting collectively 184 against Dodger pitching. There's Billingsley, who's had 2 outstanding starts. McCutchen on 0-1. McCutchen with 6 hits in 19 at-bats. 1 double is the only extra base hit for their center fielder. Signed a 5-year extension in the offseason, the 1-1. And once again, Dodger pitching getting ahead of the Pirate hitters.
This Pirate team reminds you a little bit of what the Dodgers went through last year. Right now, their team ERA, their pitching staff, 2.05. That's the best in Major League Baseball. Unfortunately, They're scoring less than 2 runs a game, and that ranks them worst in Major League Baseball. That's a bad combo to have.
Through 5 games, the Pirates have scored a total of 9 runs and a total of 30 base hits.
Ethier has 10 driven in.
The 1-2 inside.
Ooh.
And it's 2 balls, 2 strikes.
Tried to get in there again, once again, just a little cut fastball with 2 strikes.
Ethier leads the majors with 10 runs batted in. He's driven in more runs than the Pirates have scored, and Matt Kemp has knocked in 9. 3-2, just underway. Casey McGee hoping to get a crack at it here in the first. What a play by Uribe, and safe at first base. Terrific play by Uribe. Only the speed of McCutchen beats out the throw.
See where Uribe shading the line a little bit, a step and a dive. You got to get up quick and make this throw. Wasn't able to get quite enough on the throw to get the speedy McCutchen right there. Look at the play. Another great angle for you. Just ahead of the throw. And once again, James Loney over there making the plays defensively. He hasn't had a good time offensively, but he's already saved the infield a few errors with his glove.
James still looking for his first hit of the season. Casey McGee steps into the batter's box. 3 for 9 so far. The former Brewer took off a lot of weight in the offseason. Coming off a bad year in Milwaukee. Aramis Ramirez has replaced him over there in Milwaukee at third base. And so McGee is now in Pittsburgh. And a ball outside, 1 ball, no strikes. Jamaico Navarro is on deck. Well, the weather, at least for tonight, has turned a little bit better. We're expecting rain much later tonight. And apparently, we're going to get some serious rain tomorrow. The Pirates, after this game, go up to San Francisco, and they will be playing in their 3rd season opener.
It's exciting once again.
Well, it's exciting once. When it's your home.
Always for the home team.
Here's the 1-0. Swing and a grounder foul.
When you look at McGee at the plate now, you can tell that he's much more slender than he was last year. That was one of the things that he decided after having a little bit of a subpar season last year. Wanted to come in and lose some weight and go back to the player there he was a couple of seasons ago, where he hit 23 homers and 104 RBIs for the Milwaukee Brewers.
McCutchen has stolen 2 bases. But Capuano has one of the best moves in the game. Casey McGee now in his 5th big league season. And a base hit into left field. Broke his bat. And so the Pirates, with 2 out, have runners at first and second. And here comes Jamaico Navarro.
With 2 outs now here, with a couple guys on, Capuano's got to settle back in and find a way to get himself an out right here. He's pitched well in the early going here, not walking any guys. Got a couple strikeouts. Got to find a way to get out of this inning with no run scoring.
Navarro came over from Kansas City in the offseasons from San Pedro de Macorís.
Been in the big leagues with both Boston and Kansas City for a cup of coffee.
And his at-bat is an instant cup of coffee as D. Gordon makes the over-shoulder catch. No runs, 2 hits. We go to the bottom of the first. Ethier, Rivera in left, and Loney still looking for his first base hit. And Uribe and A.J. Ellis, Chris Capuano rounded out against 29-year-old right-hander Jeff Karstens.
Carson's got his first start against the Phillies. He went 6 innings in that one. Had a pretty good game, gave up 1 run and got the no decision. He's a location guy.
1 ball, no strikes to D. Gordon.
Probably say he had his best season last year. He went 9-9 with a 3.38 ERA for Pittsburgh.
And it's a ball and a strike to D. Gordon with Mark Ellis and Matt Kemp to follow.
I always think it's funny how guys' careers progress. When you look at guys like Kenley Jansen, who started as a catcher, now he's a pitcher. Carson's was originally drafted by the Expos as a catcher.
2-1 to Gordon.
He said, not doing that. Way back in 2000, he said, no, I think I'll find something else to do. Pitching's a little different.
Into right field. Should be an easy play for Tabata. Defensively for the Pirates tonight, Navarro and McCutchen and Tabata in the outfield. Pedro Alvarez, Clint Farmas in his first season in Pittsburgh. Josh Harrison, first time we've seen him, and Casey McGee at first. Karstens pitching to Michael McHenry. Rod Barajas has the night off as Mark Ellis steps into the batter's box. Ellis, while he has a 200 batting average, with 5 walks, he has a 400 on base percentage and has scored 6 runs this year. Only Matt Kemp with 7 has more on the Dodgers.
It's amazing with how many times he's had to give himself up at the plate. He's actually scored more runs than D. Gordon.
D's got 5, Ellis has scored 6, and Kemp has scored 7.
Ethier's only scored 2, hasn't he? I mean, he's really scored a bunch of times. And Andre Ethier's driven him in a few times, that's for sure. That guy's going to continue to drive him in a bunch.
Ethier leads the majors with 10 runs batted in, yet he scored only 2, and he's got a 5-game hitting streak coming into the game. One ball and 2 strikes to Mark Ellis. The Dodgers looking to become the first team with 6 wins this season. The 1-2. Looped into right field, and it drops in for a base hit. For Mark Ellis, his 4th hit of the season.
Dangerous play out there. Tabata went out there. He really didn't have a chance to catch it. Now he's going to fall down and semi-dive for it. You see him slide. That ball gets by him right there, and you're going to see Mark Ellis end up on third base. It just doesn't make a whole lot of sense to make that play. You should just back off of it, let it bounce in there, and make sure you keep the ball in front of you. He did, but it was risky.
Well, here's the 400 hitting Matt Kemp. National League Player of the Week the first week of the season, picking up where he left off in the second. Playing in his 372nd consecutive game. Leads the major leagues in consecutive games played.
He is just a horse, isn't he? It's one thing to have the body type that he has. Big guy, we know he can hit for power. We've obviously seen the speed. That combination is brilliant. But to run out there every day.
He really takes pride in that. And now that he is locked in for years to come in Los Angeles, he has become one of the team leaders. And he's playing like it. Ellis not likely to go anywhere, what with Kemp up and Ethier to follow. Against Karstens, Matt Kemp is just 1 for 6 in his career. Breaking ball for a strike, and it's 0-1. So Kemp, 2 home runs, 9 runs batted in, second only to Andre Ethier in RBIs. There's Karsten, came over from the Yankees. A deal that sent toss to first base, close play. Xavier Nady was sent to the Yankees. Russ Ohlendorf, Tabata,
Daniel McCutchen,
yeah,
also in that deal.
It was a terrific trade for the Pirates.
Thomaso Marte.
And Matt Kemp has just whistled one into the left field corner. Ellis will be held at third. Matt Kemp is at second base with his third double of the year. And the Dodgers have second and third with one man out. And the leading run producer in the game, Andre Ethier, coming up.
I didn't really think it was a good idea to throw a breaking ball on the first pitch to Matt Kemp because you show it to him. Now he sees it again, just hesitates, sees the break, waits a little bit, and then rifles it down the left field line. Been hitting a lot of balls down there. That's not his forte. You know he wants to go the other way, but if he gets out in front a little bit, he'll take those doubles down the left field line all day long.
Andre Ethier with a 5-game hitting streak and has knocked in a run in 5 straight games.
By thinking up the middle all the time, if you do get out in front, you can keep that ball fair.
Pirates are playing the infield back, trading it out for a run, and Ethier just got hit by a pitch.
Not sure where that comes from. Got him in the ribs, right next to the number. Andre's not real happy about it. They were set up inside. It definitely was a fastball. You know, I don't know if there's any intent behind that. Andre went deep to pretty much beat these guys, but if you want to load the bases against a team that's already beaten you twice in this series in the first inning, go ahead.
Well, Juan Rivera steps into the batter's box. Rivera had a good night last night with 3 hits and 2 runs batted in. Now he's got the bases loaded with 1 out.
As we said earlier, Carstens isn't going to throw the ball by you. That fastball was 91. He's going to have to hit his spots, and he's the kind of pitcher that if he doesn't, the middle of this Dodger order is going to have a field day.
That'll be deep enough for Mark Ellis to tag and score. So Juan Rivera with 2 RBIs last night, a sacrifice fly here in the first has given the Dodgers a 1-0 lead.
Batting in first baseman, number 7, James.
You got guys on base. Less than 2 outs. If you're a middle of the order guy, you're really just looking for a pitch to elevate. Get the ball up in the air. If you can drive it into the gap, maybe you score 2 or 3 runs. If you don't, you know you're going to get one of them home.
Last night, Kemp, Rivera, and Ethier had 8 hits, 3 RBIs, and 2 runs scored. Well, tonight, Kemp is doubled. Ethier hit by a pitch. Rivera the sac fly. The Dodgers with an early 1-0 lead, and James Loney is still looking for his first hit of the season. 0 for 16 with a couple of walks, and James takes high, 1 ball, no strikes.
Hey, listen to what Don Mattingly has said. The comments about James Loney is that he's not too worried about him because he knows he hasn't been messing around with his swing like he did last year. I think James was so power conscious that everyone wanted him to hit more home runs.
And there's his first hit of the season. Kemp is rounding third. And here's a throw to the plate. It's not going to be in time. Loney with an RBI single to left. His second RBI of the season. His first base hit, and the Dodgers lead 2-0.
Let's get that ball.
That's James Loney right there. Hit the ball the other way. Get your base hits with guys on base. You can drive in a lot of runs doing it just like that. Matty Kemp coming around third base. You're not throwing him out, especially when you wind up like that.
So the Dodgers, who were so good last year when scoring first, 59 and 28. And there's a base hit into center field. Uribe with an RBI single. Into scores Ethier, and just like that, the Dodgers lead 3-0. Loney is held at second.
Well, some of the key things that the Dodgers are doing so much better already this season than last year is the 2-out hitting. Rivera had 2 2-out base hits to score runs in yesterday's ball game. And now Loney and Uribe come up with one tonight.
Ellis, Kemp, and Ethier have come in to score. Ellis has scored his 7th run of the year. Kemp is 8th. And A.J. Ellis, the 8th batter of the inning. Takes a strike. It's 0-1. The Dodgers as a team so far this season, coming into the game, 14 for 52 with runners in scoring position, 269. But the middle of the lineup, runners in scoring position, Kemp is 4 for 9, Ethier 4 for 6, Rivera 4 for 7. So collectively, the middle of the Dodger lineup, Kemp, Ethier, Rivera, hitting .545 with runners in scoring position. They've knocked in 20. And as we talked about in the open, the guys at the top of the lineup while Gordon flied out to begin this inning. Ellis began the rally with a base hit to right. But when all was said and done, the Dodgers come up with 3 runs and 4 base hits. And Chris Capuano's got a lead to work with in the second. Well, Juan Rivera with 2 RBIs last night, 1 tonight. The Dodgers score 3 in the first. James Loney with an RBI single, his first base hit of the season. Juan Uribe comes up with his 5th hit of the year. And an RBI, so Jeff Karstens with the worried look on his face as Clint Barmas will lead it off for the Pirates here in the second. The Dodgers this year 4-0 in scoring first. Won more than 2 out of 3 games last year when they scored first in Capuano to Barmas, and it's a strike, 0-1. The former Rocky with 1 base hit this season, a home run last night. The Pirates have just had a terrible time offensively. Coming into the game, a collective 189 batting average. Averaging less than 2 runs a game. And the Dodgers already with a 3-0 lead. The 0-2 to Barnes. That's 3 strikeouts for Capuano, and that's the first out of the second.
Well, Capuano continues to go right after hitters, even with the 2 strike counts. That's just sinking away from him. Good location so far for Chris. He knows he's got to stay out of the middle of the plate and yet entice hitters to swing the bat.
A couple of years removed from his second Tommy John surgery. An 11-game winner last year in New York. Pedro Alvarez, who grew up in New York, still looking for his
groove.
Yeah, he was a first-round pick 4 years ago by the Pirates. And now just 1 for 9 this year. They only hit a home run. Strike, 1 ball, 1 strike.
A little surprising maybe to see him in there. He's going to be an everyday player at some point in his career, but they're trying to make some adjustments with him, and then he gets the start against the lefty.
2-1. Alvarez went to Wake Forest, first round pick, but still hasn't found his sea legs at the major league level. The 2-1. There's a strike, 2-2. Chris Capuano in 15 career starts against the Pirates. 4 up, 7 down, and an ERA of over 6. Go figure.
Pirates used to have a lineup that used to hit those soft throwers. Oh.
4 strikeouts for Chris Capuano.
That's what you call painting right there. And especially with 2 strikes, he just continues to go after hitters. Look at that. That's catching a good portion of the outer half of the plate. He's just still going right at guys. 3 of the 4 strikeouts have been looking.
Capuano doesn't throw much over 90 anymore. But as you may have learned on our pregame tonight, got a half a dozen pitches that he works with.
A.J. Ellis has to take his mitt off to call some of them.
Michael McHenry getting the start behind the plate.
Well, the Dodgers trying to go for the sweep of the Pirates. Last year they had a chance to do it 13 times, and they went 4-9 in those sweep opportunity games. Although at home, they won 3 out of 4 chances to sweep an opponent.
Chad Billingsley has had 2 outstanding starts in a row for the Dodgers. Capuano was okay until the 5th inning in his first start down in San Diego.
And I think that was a pretty good illustration of how tough this game is, because he was cruising and he knew he was pitching against a team that didn't have a whole lot of firepower. He had a 5-0 lead. He got 2 outs and then just completely couldn't find the plate.
3 balls and a strike to McHenry with the pitcher Karstens on deck.
He was standing on the mound and had the exact same thought that we all had. Just throw it down the middle, and couldn't do it. I just think that's a really humanizing part of this game.
Fell behind 3-0. Now the count is full. Padres are in for the weekend. Friday night, Saturday night is a 6:10 start. Call strike 3. Capuano has 5 strikeouts through 2. We go to the bottom of the second with the Dodgers leading 3-0. Chris Capuano, who has 6 pitches, and he's been using all 6 of them tonight. 5 of the 6 outs recorded by Dodger pitcher Chris Capuano have come by way of strikeout. And he's leading off here in the bottom half of the second inning with a 3-0 lead. And it's no balls and a strike. Capuano last year hit .071. The bat is not his best friend. D. Gordon on deck, and it's 0-2.
It's really funny, too, when you see guys that really struggle at the plate like Chris has through his career, and he's a good athlete.
High and away, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Capuano came up with the Arizona Diamondbacks in 2003. Spent most of his career in Milwaukee, the Mets last year. And a breaking ball, strike 3. He didn't even need Wally Bell, the home plate umpire, to call him out.
It's almost like all the strikeouts for the Pirates. They just look at that last pitch and then go sit down.
D. Gordon.
First strikeout for Karstens, and here comes D. Gordon, who flied to right field in his first at-bat.
Well, D. Gordon standing right up there next to his former teammate and handshake partner, Rod Barajas. One of the most entertaining things we saw all last season. I'm sorry, McHenry's catching tonight. Barajas is sitting in the bench there watching his old teammate. One of the funniest things we saw last year with those guys handshake.
McCutcheon's got a long way to go, but he'll track it down. There's 2 out.
Coming to the plate, second baseman, Mark Ellis.
Rocking him to sleep like a little baby. There's no question that this organization wanted Barajas back here. That everybody on the team really loved him, as you mentioned in last night's game. He and Matt Kemp were really good friends and got along with everybody and worked really well with the pitching staff.
Mark Ellis takes a ball low and outside, 1-0. Ellis a single to right field in his first at-bat and would score a run. The Dodgers 3 runs and 4 hits in the first inning. And it's 1-1 to Mark Ellis. While Ellis is hitting just .208, his on-base percentage is over 400. And he is second only to Matt Kemp in runs scored. Ellis scored his 7th run of the season in the first inning. But he flies to center to end the second inning. We go to the third. The Dodgers lead 3-0. Jeff Karstens to lead off against Chris Capuano as we go to the third. Capuano's got a 3-0 lead to work with. And just has been the case with Billingsley and Kershaw, Capuano has gotten ahead of the Pirate hitters in just about every at bat. And just like that, 1 out in the top of the third. And much like Billingsley last night and Kershaw the night before, Capuano pitch efficient. Gave up a couple of hits after 2 out in the first and hasn't really been tested.
Struck out 5 guys so far, and the guy in the lineup probably the easiest to strike out. He didn't get, but it only took him a couple pitches to get the out with Karstens.
Jose Tabata struck out in his first at bat. Was a highly prized Yankee prospect 5 years back. Had a solid rookie year last year. And is 3 for 19 so far this year.
The Pirates can throw you 3 speedy guys at the top of the lineup. Alex Presley out of the lineup tonight. Maybe the fastest out of Tabata, Presley, and McCutchen.
Well, Presley's a left-handed hitter, and
he's out of there. They say Tabata may be the slower of the 3, but has the best feel for base stealing and base running. Maybe a little more advanced as a player in that regard than the other 2.
Strike at the knees, and it's 2-1.
They say McCutchen steals bases kind of on brute strength of his speed. He doesn't have a lot of style. He doesn't really know what he's doing out there, still learning, but he'll steal some on you. He might have to run a little bit less now that they bumped him down to that number 3 spot.
Well, this is a team with not a lot of power, so they have to manufacture runs.
They'll do anything they can, especially now the way it's going for them.
Capuano in search of his 6th strikeout, and it's just 1 out in the top of the third. The 3-2 is on the way. Right at Gordon, 2 out.
Second baseman, number 5, Josh Harrison.
Now Josh Harrison steps into the batter's box. Harrison struck out in his first at-bat. And this is his 3rd big league at-bat this year.
Got him out of the Chicago Cubs organization, went to the University of Cincinnati.
Grew up in Cincinnati.
He's got some interesting family as he's going to go back and get a new bat after that one broke, pulling it foul. He's got a brother, Vince, who played in the minor league system of a couple different teams and now is a player coach in the Pittsburgh organization at the minor league level. You don't hear many of those guys anymore.
His uncle, a longtime Dodger, T-Bone.
T-Bone.
Yeah, John Shelby.
Shelby, of course, used to be in the Pittsburgh organization as the first base coach. Not there anymore.
No balls, 1 strike, and 2 out in the top half of the 3rd inning. And it's 0-2.
This is the type of ball game where if you're Juan Uribe down at third base, you'd think you might get a lot of action. Capuano sometimes does a pretty good job of keeping the ball away from right-handed hitters, but you know he's not going to blow the ball by anybody, so a lot of these righties are going to go up there pulling the ball down towards third base.
Instead, a pop-up to straightaway center. Matt Kemp calling everybody off. And now 7 in a row have been retired by Chris Capuano. big league season, 47 years of age, and he's out of Ohio. Matt Kemp out of Oklahoma swings and fouls it back, and it's 0-1. Kemp, Ethier, and Rivera to bat. Matt Kemp and Andre Ethier have always been terrific hitters, in April in particular. Kemp coming into the game, his April batting average throughout his career, .331. Ethier's batting average in the month of April, .326. Andre on deck, and then Juan Rivera. The Dodgers with a 3-0 lead, and the 0-2 is outside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Jeff Karstens pitched well in his first start. 1 run, 5 hits in 6 innings against the Phillies. Would not be around for the final decision. Pirates won that game in a walk-off. So Matt at .423 this young season. 11 hits and 26 at-bats. 9 runs batted in, 8 runs scored. Leads the National League with 8 runs scored. 1 behind Ethier and Freeze with 9 runs batted in. And the National League Player of the Week the first week of the season. The 2-2.
You sort of get the feeling that sometimes Matt Kemp is sort of like an old school setup hitter. He might swing wildly at a breaking ball that you think you can come back with and get him on later in the at bat, and then he's sitting there waiting on it. Had a really good hack at that one right there.
Not such a good one there.
He saw a hanging breaking ball in last night's game that he's still thinking about. That one's the pitch that can give a lot of people trouble, not just Matt Kemp.
Second strikeout for Karstens. Andre Ethier coming up. Ethier hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, would come around to score. Strike, 0-1.
Little conversation there between Ethier and somebody at home plate. It might have been home plate umpire, or maybe McHenry. I don't know if they were talking about his last at bat. Hey, don't hit me again.
In the middle of the back on a fastball. To center field, easy play from McCutcheon. So Karstens has settled down. He has retired 6 batters in a row after the Dodgers scored 3 runs with 4 hits in the first. And Juan Rivera sacrifice fly in his first at bat. His 4th run batted into the season. Kemp, Ethier, and Rivera. Combined, they are 12 for 22 with runners in scoring position so far this young season, with 20 RBIs. To third base, and Alvarez has an easy play. A 1-2-3 inning for Karstens. We'll go to the 4th. The Dodgers 3-0. 5 and has retired 7 in a row. McCutchen, an infield hit in his first at bat. Takes inside and high, 1 ball, no strikes. In this series, Dodger pitching has struck out 23 Pirates and walked none.
Wow. And that's clearly a combination of some tough times offensively for the Pirates and some outstanding pitching for the Dodgers. And the strikeouts are one thing. I mean, you can run into a team that's going bad and strike out a lot of guys, but the simple fact that you're not walking anybody means you're doing a great job of pitching.
2-0. And McCutchen has just whistled one into the left field corner. And Andrew will arrive at second base with his second base hit of the night, his second double of the year.
Coming to the plate, first baseman.
Well, stay out of the middle of the plate if you can, and that one caught a little bit more of it there. He's done such a nice job of going right at hitters. He continues to do that. The Pirates have had a few at-bats where they've hit the ball pretty hard right at somebody, and this one falls in there for the double.
McCutchen, the only Pirate to advance as far as second base tonight. It was the second time. Casey McGee with a base hit in his first at-bat.
When you think about it, Charlie, if you're a finesse-type pitcher like Capuano is, and you're a guy tonight that's pretty much going right at guys, you're going to give up some hits. You're around the plate. Guys are going to swing the bat. You just hope to not let them string too many of them together, and you hope your offense scores more.
Well, no offense has scored less this year than the Pirates. 9 runs so far in a week's worth of work. So Clint Hurdle in his second year in Pittsburgh, trying to get the right pieces to work in sync. McGee is 4 for 10, and it's inside. McGee, born in Santa Cruz, lives in Jackson, Tennessee. Hit .223 last year in Milwaukee, a career .265 hitter. Grounded to third. Uribe forces McCutchen back to second. And that is the first out of the fourth. Just a reminder, as you enjoy a cold one, we'll look forward to Miller time later in tonight's game, brought to you by Miller Lite. Well, that was truly an unproductive out, as the Pirates unable to get McCutchen over to third. Jamaico Navarro.
Navarro, kind of an interesting case, playing left field in tonight's ball game. He's been mostly a middle infielder his entire career. Made far more appearances as a shortstop in his entire career than any other place. The outfield ranks down there a little ways. 312 different games at short, bunch more over at second, some at third, and then the outfield comes into play. So he is a versatile guy that they can use a bunch of different places for them this season.
Well, with the lefty Capuano going, Nate McLouth has the night off. Alex Presley has the night off. Neil Walker, the switch hitter, has been struggling, so he's got the night off. And Hurdle's trying to figure out how to put some runs on the board here.
Find any combination that might work.
Navarro popped to short in his first at-bat.
You know it's like the first 10 days of the season, because we see pickoff plays at second base just because they worked on it in spring training. As we move along, you won't see another pickoff at second base the rest of the season. We've seen 10 so far this year.
Dodgers 3-0 with one out in the top of the fourth. Back in 1981, the Dodgers got off to a 6-0 start. And with a win tonight, the Dodgers would go to 6-1 and become the first 6-game winning team in the major leagues this year. Don Mattingly in his second season at the Dodger helm. Clayton Kershaw sitting right behind him. One and two to Navarro with Clint Barmes on deck. 56 degrees at game time. Rain in the forecast later. A 1-2 to right field. Ethier will have some room. And McCutcheon will tag and go to third. Fans, Saturday you can take home a piece of history with your very own Dodger Stadium replica commemorating opening day in 1962, presented by State Farm. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions.
AJ looks like he's going to take a bite out of that thing.
With two out, Barmes a strikeout victim in his first at-bat. His only hit of the year was a home run last night. Barmes is now 1 for 16. That's an .063 average. Out of Indiana. Grew up in the Rocky organization. He spent last year in Houston. He's a starting shortstop in Pittsburgh now. And Chris Capuano in search of his first win as a Dodger. That's about as hard as Capuano can throw. A 90-mile-an-hour fastball on the inside corner. It's 1-1.
I really like the way he's continuing to try to get in on right-handed hitters, too.
Low and inside, blocked very nicely by A.J. Ellis.
A lot of people think that if you don't throw hard as a lefty, you can't get in on right-handers. They'll crush you. Tell that to guys like Glavine. Used to break more bats than anybody. And if you are a finesse guy, think about it. You have to use both sides of the plate, maybe more so than a guy that throws hard. You're not going to throw it by anybody. You're not tricking anyone.
And it looks like Capuano's going to get out of the inning, and he will. The leadoff double. McCutcheon is stranded at third. Dodgers lead 3-0 as we go to the bottom of the fourth. Receiver from AT&T Uverse. Visit AT&T.com/free your TV. By El Pollo Loco. Taste the fresh flavor of the new Roja Wet Burrito. And by Mercury Insurance. Get a free quote and get 2 Dodger tickets at Dodgers.com/Mercury. As we head to the home half of the fourth, James Loney steps into the batter's box, finally breathing a sigh of relief in his first at-bat. His first base hit of the season drove in a run as the Dodgers scored all 3 in the bottom of the first against Jeff Karstens, who has since settled down and delivers a strike to Loney. It's 0-1. So James is 1 for 17. That's 0-59. And he reaches out, grounds weakly to first.
Well, those are the kind of at-bats right there would really make James a little upset. Feel like you give away the at-bat. First pitch, you swing at a bad breaking ball. But you know what? Goes 6 for his next 10. He's hitting 250. You know, comes up pretty quick.
Well, that's the thing about the first month of the season, the wild fluctuations in batting average, ERA. And if you're a pitcher and you give up 2 or 3 runs in a couple of innings as the rebate bounces to short, as was the case, for instance, with Kenley Jansen, gave up the 2-run home run to Cameron Maben, and on the first day of the season, he had an ERA of 18.
Yeah, well, you can have an ERA of infinity sometimes if you have a rough outing out there, and especially if you're a guy who only throws 1 or 2 innings. It takes you a long time to get that thing back down.
Well, Jansen hasn't given up a thing since. His ERA is 3.6. So you see a lot of that in the month of April. 2 out, nobody on. A.J. Ellis.
We talk specifically both with the Ellises of guys that have specific jobs more so than any other guy in the lineup. And AJ's job right here is, as it always is, to try to find a way to get on base, but even more important here, to make sure that he gets Capuano up in this inning so he doesn't have to lead off the next inning. Find a way to get on, get Capuano up there. Even if he makes the last out, you're fine. You go into the next inning, turning the lineup over, and you have D. Gordon leading things off.
But quickly, it's 0-2. Well, mission accomplished for A.J. Ellis. A 2-out single to center, his 4th hit of the season.
Karsten threw him that breaking ball in his last at-bat, and A.J. popped it up to right field. He saw it again and said, I'm not letting you get away with it twice in a row.
A.J. Ellis making his 6th start of the season. Last year, he made 25 starts, and tonight, but his 68th career start. But now he knows he's the everyday catcher, and he's done well in the first week of the year. Now Capuano took a call, 3rd strike in his first at-bat. Takes under the knees, 1 ball, no strikes. Well, especially with a weak hitting pitcher, you want to keep him out of leading off the following inning as Capuano fouls it into the glove of the catcher, Michael McHenry. So assuming Capuano does not get on base, Gordon will lead off in the 5th.
We've seen stranger things happen with 2 outs. Capuano finds a way to get on, then D. Gordon gets it going, then you get into the meteor order. Next thing you know, throw a 5 spot up there on the board with 2 outs.
So meanwhile, Karsten's got to be kicking himself. He's fallen behind 3-0 to Capuano. Good rip, 3-2. Aaron Harang and Clayton Richard, tomorrow night's pitchers. Now remember, on Saturday nights this year, start times are 6:10, not 7:10.
Thanks for reminding me. I might have been late.
The expectation is Ted Lilly will make that start.
Still on the DL as we speak. They have to activate him in order to make that start, but that's the progression that they're looking at right now. There's Ted.
And we understand the Padres are going to be sending a rookie, Joe Wheeland, out to the hill, who will be making his major league debut. And then on Sunday, Edinson Volquez and Clayton Kershaw, an opening day rematch. How about that? Capuano takes a walk.
Now D gets to come up with an opportunity to maybe drive in a run here. You don't get that many opportunities as a leadoff hitter. When you think about it, at least 25% of your at-bats, you're going to come up with nobody on.
Well, D. Gordon is 0 for 2 tonight. Has 1 RBI. It was a game winner in San Diego last Saturday night in the 11th inning. 2 on, 2 out, 3-0 Dodger lead in the bottom of the 4th, and Gordon takes inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Dodgers have beaten the Pirates dating back to last year, 5 in a row and 8 of the last 9. Breaking ball high, 2-0 to D. Gordon. Mark Ellis on deck. Last year, the Dodgers 6-2 against Pittsburgh. And dating back to 2000, the Dodgers are 35 games better than the Pirates. 63-28. So that's that for the Dodgers in the 4th. Chris Capuano has brought his A game tonight. He's given up 3 hits while striking out 5.
The Dodgers' tradition of blazing new trails continues as Chan Ho Park becomes the first ever Korean-born player to appear in a Major League Baseball game. The city of Los Angeles, home to the largest Korean-American community in the United States, quickly embraced the newest Dodger pitcher.
Half swing, that'll do it. Chan Ho strikes out 9.
The 50th anniversary of Dodger Stadium. A.J. Ellis with that 2-out single into center field, a little thing. But what happened was, after that, Jeff Karstens was extended 11 more pitches along the way. It turned over the lineup. Capuano, of course, would walk. Gordon would fly out to end the inning. And so the Dodgers, when they come back in the 5th, will have their 2, 3, and 4 hitters. Ellis, Kemp, and Ethier come up. And if anybody gets aboard, then Juan Rivera.
For a guy who clearly is starting to get a little bit tired and lose his location.
Pedro Alvarez leads it off. He struck out in his first at-bat. Capuano struck out the side in the second. He's got 5 strikeouts so far tonight. And as was the case last night with Chad Billingsley and Clayton Kershaw the day before that, Dodger pitching constantly ahead of the Pirate hitters. Dodger pitching's not giving up a walk in this series, and Capuano quickly ahead, 0-2.
Remember, Chris gave up 4 walks in his outing against the San Diego Padres. And it was the walks that kind of did him in the 5th inning there in his final inning of work.
But tonight, consistently ahead of the hitters as Alvarez stays alive and fouls it off to the left. Capuano in San Diego Went just 4 2/3 innings, walked 5, struck out 4, 86 pitches in 4 2/3. And this about to be his 60th pitch in the 5th. And his 6th strikeout pending the throw.
Batting next, catcher, number 55, Michael McHenry.
I really like what A.J. Ellis did on that strikeout right there. He just took his time. He knew that he was going to have to make a throw to first base, but watch him come way inside the baseline to make him get clear of the runner. He's not going to make a throw that's going to hit the runner in the back. He takes his time, makes a throw inside to James Loney. This makes everything so much more simpler.
Michael McHenry now, and McHenry fouls it off to the right, 0-1. Rod Barajas the night off tonight. Played in 58 games last year in Pittsburgh. And there's Rod Barajas. Home with the family for these 3 games. The Pirates go up to San Francisco tonight after the game.
Rod has 6 kids.
You know, on road trips, he'll bring the family along every once in a while. When you get on the elevator, and there's no room. 2-1 to Michael McHenry. Jeff Karstens is on deck. To center field, back goes Matt Kemp. A long way back, and he's not going to get it, and either is anybody else. Michael McHenry with a home run. The Pirates are on the board. The Dodger lead is 3-1.
Well, you could see when he hit it that was launched. I took a quick peek at Matt Kemp, and he really wasn't going back all that hard on it, which told everybody in the house that he hit it well enough where he's not going to be able to catch up with it. That ball's up in the zone, belt high. Henry is known a little bit more as a defensive catcher than an offensive threat, but he pounded that one.
His 3rd big league home run last year in 58 games, 2 home runs, 11 runs batted in. His 2nd hit of the season.
Watch Matt Kemp turn and run on this. He knows right now it's gone.
So the Dodger lead is cut to 2. Jeff Karstens. 1 out and 1 in the 5th inning. And that is strikeout number 7 for Capuano.
Wow. You got to love the way he is working tonight, both sides of the plate. All 6 of his pitches he's throwing up there. And many, many pitches on the inner half of the plate to get his strikeouts.
Two out. Tabata 0 for 2 is struck out and lined out. Dodger pitching now 25 strikeouts against the Pirates and no walks. Tabata takes inside and it's 2-0.
You know, Charlie, I like the fact that you keep bringing that up because it is so important about not walking guys. You know, the old adage, what happens if you walk a guy?
The Dodgers haven't had to worry about that.
That guy's going to come around and score. That's a great way to be able to limit the damage.
Clayton Kershaw, Aaron Harang, Chad Billingsley, Ted Lilly, a little pitcher's convention. And Tabata's been hit by a pitch. And not the least bit happy about it. Now remember, back in the 1st inning, Andre Ethier got hit.
Tabata's kind of hanging out over the plate there, and it was kind of a cut fastball up and in. Didn't do a great job of getting out of the way of it. If you're not going to get out of the way of the pitch, then you don't really have a right to be upset about it hitting you.
With 2 out, Josh Harrison coming up after A.J. Ellis had a brief conference with Capuano.
we'll see if with 2 outs here, even with the 2-run deficit for the Pirates, whether or not they give Tabata the green light to try to steal a base. He is one of the guys in the lineup that can be aggressive, and they have to be more aggressive this year if they're going to put any runs on the board.
To left field, but Rivera is right there. Harrison hit it right on the button, has nothing to show for it, but Michael McHenry does and did with a home run. Dodgers 3-1. We go to the bottom of the 5th. We go to the bottom half of the 5th. Ellis, single to right in his first at-bat, would come around to score his 7th run of the season already. And he takes a ball inside and high, 1 ball, no strikes. This is the Dodgers' 7th game of the year, beginning the night at 5-1. Their first 5-1 start since 1999. A ball and a strike to Ellis.
Yeah, it's good to see that the little kid got the ball, but the guy had a chance. That guy had a chance to make the play. Nobody in his way. Had a glove and everything. His son's already texting all his friends that I'm sitting here with my dad and he couldn't make a play. Of course, in my day, in a game like that, my dad would have told me to put my phone away, get the glove out, and make the play yourself.
In my day, we didn't carry phones around. Had a bag of dimes. And Mark Ellis has just fluked a base hit into center field, his 2nd hit of the night. And the Dodgers with a leadoff runner aboard in the bottom of the 5th.
For the Dodgers, center fielder number 27, Matt Kemp.
You wonder, with all the new sabermetrics and different ways to look at the way the game's played, if you just took the at-bats that Mark Ellis has when they are his own at-bat and he can do anything he wants with, wonder what he hits then.
But what he's done such a great job of, beginning in spring and now through the first 7 games of the year, when Gordon gets on board, he invariably advances him either to 2nd or 3rd. Now Kemp, who's doubled, scored a run, and struck out, has lined a base hit into center field. The Dodgers are in business here in the bottom of the 5th. 1st and 2nd, nobody out. Matt Kemp is 2 for 3, as is Mark Ellis. And here comes Andre Ethier.
This is a bullet that he rifled right back up the middle. Look at the strength of that swing. Look at his eyes just pinking out over his elbows, right down the barrel of the bat. You can see his belt buckle staring at you. He's already cleared his hips out. Now that's the type of ball where he kind of hit almost like a little bit of a topspin lob. He hit the back half of that ball. Had he hit the underneath bottom part of that ball, it might still be going.
Andre Ethier steps into the batter's box with a 5-game hitting streak. He was hit by a pitch in his first at-bat, would eventually score when the Dodgers plated 3 in the first. In the third inning, Ethier flied to center. Andre leads the league with 10 runs batted in. Ellis leads from second, Kemp from first, and a breaking ball to Ethier, and it's 0-1.
Gosh, you got nobody out. You feel like you're facing the 27 Yankees when Kemp came into this one with an average of 400. Ethier was at almost 350. Rivera over 360. You don't want to face these guys, and now they're all on base.
Ethier 4 for 6 with runners in scoring position this season. And it's 0-2.
Good pitch, good late movement on kind of a dead fish fastball. I don't think that was his changeup. Just kind of took something off. Heavy sinking action.
Carson's is 29. Now lives in Marina del Rey. Grew up in San Diego. In his 6th big league season. One ball, 2 strikes. Carson's pitched 8 games with the Yankees in 2006 and 7 in 2007. Then he was traded to the Pirates with Daniel McCutchen, Russ Oldendorf, and Jose Tabata, with Xavier Nady and Damaso Martel.
It's a good deal, a useful deal for the Pirates.
And it was one of those, well, we need him at the time kind of deals for the Yankees, getting Nady and Marte.
Yeah. And you know, really one of the main names in that trade too was Ollendorf, and we were trying to find him earlier today just to see who he'd signed with. We didn't know that if he was still with the Pittsburgh organization. We don't think that he's in baseball anymore, but just can't figure out why.
Just foul at the first base line as Carson's now in trouble. The Pirates have bullpen activity. The right-hander, Chris Resop, is warming. There he is.
When you get Daniel McCutchen in that deal, Jose Tabata in that deal, Karstens and Ollendorf, and these days it's hard to not be able to find a guy with all the information out there on people. We just couldn't find what Ross is doing these days.
On 2-2 to Ethier. Andre goes down swinging. 7th time he's been struck out this year. First and second, now 1 out. Juan Rivera coming up.
Well, sometimes you just have to tip your hat to the pitcher. You see once again some pretty good late movement. Not the first pitch that Andre swung out where he was out in front. This one had good late movement downward away from Ethier. Still a pretty good swing. He just didn't get it.
So Karstens with 3 strikeouts. And Juan Rivera, sacrifice fly in his first at-bat, bounced to third in his second. Rivera 4 for 7 so far this young season with runners in scoring position. High and inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Mid-season acquisition last year from Toronto. Boy, that was just a giveaway. And the Dodgers were more than happy to take Rivera. And once he was planted in there, essentially right behind Matt Kemp, the Dodgers season began to turn around. And a fly ball to short right field. This is not going to get anything accomplished, but the second out. Friday night fireworks here at Dodger Stadium back. And tomorrow night, the first fireworks display of the season. The show will honor award winners who have been part of a Dodger Stadium tradition over the past 50 years. After the game, all fans invited onto the field to enjoy the fireworks. For tickets, visit Dodgers.com/promotions. Two out, 2 on, and James Loney coming up. James 1 for 2 and an RBI, his first hit of the year. But his second at bat, a weak ground ball to first. Ellis still at second, Kemp still at first. But Ethier was struck out, Rivera has flied out, and now the struggling James Loney settles in. Takes low, 1 ball, no strikes.
See if James Loney is a little bit of a different hitter, especially since that last at-bat where he just took a bad swing at a first pitch and grounded out weakly. Got guys out there to drive in again. He becomes more of an opposite field hitter, looking to hit the ball over the shortstop's head.
Right to the second baseman. Harrison gets an easy hop. Loney is retired easily. We'll go to the 6th. Dodger lead is 3-1. Box. Love bacon? Then try the new BLT cheeseburger for $4.99 plus tax. Buy 76 gas. Wear on the driver's side. Buy Club Serrano. Get in on the action. Go to sanmanuel.com for details. And buy Time Warner Cable. 1 run, 4 hits for the Pirates, and Andrew McCutchen has 2 of the 4 hits. A single and a double. Dodgers with a 3-1 lead as we begin the 6th. McCutchen is 8 for 21. That's a .381 clip. And Capuano has just served up the third base hit for McCutchen. He's got 3 of the Pirates' 5. A leadoff single here in the center field here in the
batting next, first baseman, number 14, Casey McGee.
This is where a guy who's been very aggressive around the plate, like Capuano has been all night, may start thinking about being a little more fine later in the game. When these guys start thinking, I'm going to jump on that first pitch, you don't have to give them something good to hit.
So with Rick Honeycutt calling Ken Howell down to the bullpen, the Dodgers bullpen now shuffling around. Casey McGee has singled and bounced to third. Of course, last night, Guerrier, Jansen, and Guerra all pitched. Jansen and Guerra pitched the night before. So their availability in question. Casey McGee takes inside and low, 1 ball and no strikes.
The Dodgers, with that offensive flurry and 3 runs in the first inning, made this game feel like a game that's a little more out of hand than it is. It's a 2-run ball game.
Mike McDougal beginning to warm in the pen. Well, the Pirates on the home run by McHenry in the top of the 5th got on the board. Then the Dodgers had runners first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 5th, and might well have delivered a death blow to the Pirates tonight. But then Pittsburgh was able to sidestep any damage. After leadoff hits to Ellis and Kemp, Ethier would strike out, Rivera would fly out, and Loney would ground out. So the Pirates still in this game. Capuano to this point has thrown 75 pitches. 49 for strikes, 26 for balls. No walks. While McCutchen is a legitimate stolen base threat, Capuano has one of the best moves in the game. Capuano has struck out 7 and hit a batter. Line to right field for a base hit, and McCutchen will go to third. So now the Pirates are alive, first and third with nobody out.
Don Mattingly right there is going to start really paying attention to location of pitches. He still hasn't walked anybody. But that's not necessarily a sign of tiring out or just losing what you had earlier in the ball game. When the ball starts sailing out over the middle of the plate, that can be worse than walks.
5 of the 6 Pirate hits have come from McCutchen and McGee. Jamaico Navarro is 0 for 2. He's popped to short and flied to right. Dodgers hoping for the double play. Clint Barmas is on deck. So the Pirates with runners in scoring position. Something they haven't had very many of this year. Hitting 143 as a team, hitting in the clutch. 4 for 28.
Ouch. Navarro is one of those guys that kind of sailed through the minor leagues, playing very, very well. All-star in both the 08-09 seasons on his way to the big leagues. So they're hoping for some big things out of this kid.
0 for 3 and a couple of walks so far. And Capuano gets ahead, nothing in 2.
A little bit of an odd swing right there. Navarro's top hand came off of the bat midway through the swing.
So Capuano hoping for his 8th strikeout of the game here. McCutchen leading from third and McGee from first.
Good pitch right there. And as you talked about, Chris is racking up a few strikeouts tonight. Not generally known as a strikeout pitcher, but this would be a great time for one. To put one out on the board and keep the double play in order so that no runs score if you get the strikeout, then the double play.
And this is a Pirate team that's been frustrated offensively, just 4 for 28 with runners in scoring position so far this year.
Can be very selective as a pitcher right now. The count 0-2, looking for the strikeout. Certainly do not have to throw a strike in either of the next 2 pitches. See if you can get a guy to chase.
Trying to come inside. High and inside. In Colorado today, Jamie Moyer was beaten by somebody more than half his age. 49-year-old Jamie Moyer looking to become the oldest pitcher to win a game. But the Giants and Madison Bumgarner beat him 4-2. The 1-2. A fly ball to left field. And it's going to be Rivera making the call and the catch. McCutchen will tag and score. It's now a 3-2 game on the Jamaico Navarro sacrifice fly.
Shortstop, number 12.
Once again, you got to tip your cap to Navarro there. Did a good job with that at bat. Got down 0-2. Battled his way into a sacrifice fly.
And that will be the end of the line for Chris Capuano. Well, one thing we have learned about Don Mattingly, he rarely comes out just to talk. He comes and gets his pitcher, and that's exactly what he's doing. Capuano leaves the game. He can only win it. He cannot lose it. McDougal is on his way in.
he delivers. He promised earlier in the game that it was going to be Miller time, and now it is Miller time, brought to you by Miller Lite. Check out the strikeouts by Capuano and what pitches he's getting them on. 2 fastballs there, then the slider, another fastball away right there, catching the corner, fastball in right there again for another strikeout, a little bit of a cutter, then another fastball in. A lot of guys taking a peek at a final third strike. Capuano did a pretty good job out there tonight.
7 strikeouts, no walks, and so far in the series, the Dodgers pitching has combined for 25 strikeouts and no walks. From Miller time to McDougal time. Mike McDougal making his 3rd appearance of the season for the Dodgers. We last saw Mike on Saturday down in San Diego when he pitched 1 inning, walked a batter, and struck out a batter. McDougal last year, his first season with the Dodgers, an ERA of just a shade over 2. Facing Clint Barmes with 2 out, 1 in the top half of the 6th. And the Dodger lead now is 3-2. I'm sorry, did I say 2 out? 1 out. And now Barmes a swing and a miss, and it's 0-1.
You can get the mixed bag with McDougal. He's going to strike out a lot of guys. He has the tendency to walk a few guys. And the biggest reason he's in there right now is he can induce a lot of ground balls. You look for a ground ball double play right here.
Barmes 0 for 2, 1 for 17 so far this year. He's only hit a home run last night. A little number foul. McDougal has always thrown the ball hard. It was not unusual for him to throw 100 miles an hour in his early days in Kansas City. Scott Elbert now beginning to warm in the Dodger bullpen. Came up with the Royals in 2001. Looped into short right field. Ethier's not going to reach it. So now the Pirates have first and second with 1 out. Barmes happy to sacrifice that broken bat.
Batting next, 3rd baseman, Pedro Alvarez.
Ellis did a pretty good job of decoying right here. Watch the second baseman acting like he has a chance to catch that ball, trying to hold the runner a little bit so that he just doesn't take off and go for 3rd base. Maybe he wouldn't have anyway, but Ellis made sure that he didn't.
Both Ellis and Ethier trying to decoy the runners. First and second, and Alvarez 0 for 2, 2 strikeouts against Capuano. A ground ball to the right side. Ellis, some play. Gordon out at second, and that's the only play. Mark Ellis, only Placido Polanco in 750 games or more has a better fielding percentage than Mark Ellis. What a play.
Runs a long way here. The reverse pivot to be able to get the first out at second, and really that's what they were thinking, that they'd only have a chance for the 1 out. Gordon's going to come across the bag, maybe try to get up and over the slide and have a relay throw on to first, but really what they wanted was that lead runner right there. Clint Hurdle's going to argue that Gordon wasn't on second base when that play was made, but I think the replay showed that he was.
Well, one of the things the Dodgers wanted to do in the offseason was fortify the middle of the infield. Now Dee Gordon is the everyday shortstop. And as terrific as Jamie Carroll and Aaron Miles were at second, it's a defensive upgrade to be sure to get Mark Ellis. Michael McHenry hit a home run over the center field wall back in the 5th inning.
Jamie Carroll signed a couple-year deal to be the starting shortstop in Minnesota, and Aaron Miles has not signed with anybody. Sitting home right now, waiting for the phone to ring. Surprising.
McDougal delivers low, 2-0. You got a lot of range up the middle, defensively for the Dodgers with Gordon and Ellis. Of course, Matt Kemp covers a world of real estate in center. And A.J. Ellis is a solid and dependable catcher. That whole question of being strong up the middle, and defensively, that is certainly the case now with the Dodgers, who were third in the league last year in defense, by the way. And this year, they have committed but 2 errors. 2 balls and a strike.
Gives you the feeling when you come to the plate that there's nowhere you can hit the ball where it will land in there safely.
Kemp, Ethier, Gold Glove winners. Rivera in left. 2-1, 2 out, a 3-2 Dodger lead in the 6th. And now it's 3-1 to McHenry. Karstens is in the on deck circle. Can't imagine he'll hit should McHenry get aboard.
Timeout on the field. Everybody looking down the third baseline. Not sure exactly what the issue is down there.
Third base coach Nick Leyva. Luis Silverio is their first base coach on 3-1 to McHenry. Three and 2.
McHenry was going to swing at that pitch no matter where it was. Gearing up for a 3-1 fastball, was just going to launch again after hitting a home run to dead center field in his last at bat. And the good late movement from McDougal right there. It's just tough to square up that pitch if you're going to swing at it.
Harang and Capuano watching intently on 3-2. Line drive foul off to the right. And somehow a fan made a catch. Oh, man. How did she do that?
I hope that was a ricochet.
So once again on 3-2, Alvarez will get the head start from first, but McHenry has to leave the batter's box getting something out of his eye. Well, there goes Alvarez. Here comes the pitch, and we'll do it one more time. The Dodgers have won 13 of their last 15 against the Pirates here at Dodger Stadium. Dodgers have won 11 consecutive season series from the Pirates. Looking to complete a 3-game sweep with a win tonight. Here comes a 3-2. Low ball 4 and the bases are loaded. Josh Lindblom is now joining Scott Elbert in the bullpen. So Karstens is being called back. The bases are loaded, 2 out. And Garrett Jones, left-handed hitting, potential power hitter. Does Mattingly go to the lefty Elbert or stay with McDougal?
Well, he's going to talk it over with everybody down there, and now he's made his decision, and he's coming out to the mound.
And that will be the end of the line for Mike McDougal. Gave up a bloop hit, ground out, and he walked McHenry, so the bases are loaded. Garrett Jones has been announced. Scott Elbert is on his way in. the proud sponsor of opening week baseball. Time now for the Burger King in-game box score. The middle of the lineup, McCutchen and McGee have been especially productive. Michael McHenry, his third career home run, his first of the year. And now, after the left-handed hitting Garrett Jones was announced, and the Dodgers brought in Scott Elbert, manager Clint Hurdle counters and brings in Matt Haig.
This is where you start playing the chess game late in a ball game. It's starting early, actually, in the 6th inning, but Haig, the rookie, getting a chance with the bases loaded.
Had a big spring, hit 7 home runs this spring to make the team. He turned 27 in August, hit .309 at AAA last year with a dozen home runs. McGee, Alvarez, and McHenry are the base runners. And into center field, Matt Kemp is there. And that will end the inning. Hit right on the button. Pirates score a run, leave 3. Dodgers lead 3-2. Sixth inning, and it's time to have a look at our in-game box score brought to you by Chevrolet. Once again, Ellis and Kemp and Ethier have been productive. All have scored runs. Ellis has a couple of hits, so too Matt Kemp. And the Dodgers with a 3-2 lead. The Pirates continue to be their own worst enemy. There's Mark Ellis and there's Matt Kemp once again getting the job done at the top of the order. The Pirates, though, with runners in scoring position in this series, are 0 for 14.
Ouch. Oh. Can't win games like that. You saw that in-game box score. It's a lot of fun when there's a lot of noise on the right-hand side of that. One thing that jumped out to me, though, is the fact that D. Gordon 0 for 3 again tonight. D is going to be the catalyst at the top of the lineup and got to get things going again.
And in an ideal situation, you want to see D. Gordon put the ball on the ground and put his speed to work, but he has flown to the outfield 3 times.
It brings to mind the old movie Major League with Willie Mays Hayes. As soon as he hits a pop fly, I had to start doing push-ups.
Juan Uribe, 1 for 2, and is driven in a run. The 3 RBIs tonight from Rivera, Loney, and Uribe. Juan fouls it off. It's 0-1. So Rivera, 5 for 20. That's 250. 1 RBI. Looking to rebound from last year's miserable season. Hit just 204. Chris Resop on in relief of Jeff Karstens, and there's a liner foul. Rysop pitched 2/3 of an inning last night.
Uribe just really continues to struggle there with timing at the plate. He threw a fastball on the first pitch. He was late. Breaking ball on that pitch way out in front. Got to find a happy medium there and drill the ball somewhere.
Just high, 1 ball, 2 strikes. First base umpire Mark Wegner. Rysop is 6'3" and 2 1/4. Born, raised, and still lives in Naples, Florida. A.J. Ellis on deck, and then presumably a pinch hitter for Elbert. Into left center field, and it's going to drop in for a hit. Uribe takes the big turn and returns to first. Uribe is 2 for 3. Time now for the AT&T trivia question. Roberto Clemente holds the Pirates record with exactly 3,000 hits. Which 3 players have 2,000 or more hits with the Dodgers? We'll have the answer coming up a little later on. A.J. Ellis steps into the batter's box. Ellis is 1 for 2. A.J. at 235, 4 for 17. Now Ellis squares to bunt, and he gets the job done. Rysop throws low and dug out by the second baseman Harrison. So Ellis sacrifices the runner, and Adam Kennedy is going to come up and pinch hit.
Well, you can see him just really hang on to that ball too long and just fire it straight into the dirt. A nice play down there to make the pick.
Almost got the sense that Casey McGee got in the way. And Rysop had to alter the throw a bit. McGee by trade a third base. Josh Lindblom warming in the Dodger bullpen, and so presumably we will see him in the 7th as Adam Kennedy. Southern California native. He's one of those guys who grew up both a Dodger and Angel fan. Well, he's played for the Angels, and now in the latter stages of his terrific major league career, he is home in Southern California with the Dodgers after playing up in Seattle last year. Came up originally in the Cardinal organization, and he was part of the big trade that sent Jim Edmonds to St. Louis.
Yes, he was. He was the main guy in that deal.
A trade that worked out for both clubs.
I know some Dodger fans that they can't even stand the color red. No way are they going to be an Angel fan.
The first base, McGee's going to take it unassisted. Uribe will go to third with 2 out.
I guess if you're a kid and you're growing up in the area and you're both a Dodger and Angel fan, I guess that just means you love baseball. Happy to see anybody play.
And so Adam Kennedy has been retired, and now D. Gordon with 2 out. One of the things with D. Gordon's great speed that he can do with a runner at third, even with 2 outs, bunt for a base hit, driving around that way.
We have not seen him do a play that he worked on a lot during spring training, and that is a play also that Rafael Furcal used to do a lot. Bunt the ball to the shortstop, pull that third baseman in, hit it past him. The theory is that the shortstop's going to have to run nearly as far in to get the ball as D. Gordon has to run to first base, and so that he's easily going to win that race.
Pedro Alvarez, as you see, in on the grass even with 2 out. But Gordon breaks his bat in a 1-hopper to Harrison, and that'll end the inning. No runs, 1 hit, 1 left. We'll go to the 7th. Dodgers nursing a 3-2 lead.
About the middle of the order doing damage, but how about when you get to the back half of the order? When those guys do some damage like they did in the first, there's a base hit with 2 outs by James Loney with a guy on. It's going to bring Matt Kemp home to score, and then Juan Uribe follows that up with a 2-out base hit. That's going to bring in Andre Ethier. When you have the middle of the order hitting on all cylinders, and then the back half of the order, that's when you start to blow teams out if everyone's swinging the bat.
Josh Lindblom now on in relief for the Dodgers. Lindblom is making his 3rd appearance. He's given up no runs and no hits in 4 innings, 3 strikeouts, and 2 walks. Just watched him mature last year in 27 games at the major league level. And he may have pitched as well as anybody on the staff in spring training. Jose Tabata leads off. Takes a ball inside, 1 ball, no strikes. Top of the order for the Pirates here in the 7th. Tabata, Josh Harrison, and Andrew McCutchen. Dodgers scored all 3 of their runs in the first inning. The Pirates with solo tallies in the 5th and 6th. As Lindblom misses high and inside, 2-0.
Don Mattingly has used Lindblom in a bunch of different situations out of the bullpen. He could be a spot starter as well. He's a starter in the minor leagues. Still trying to figure out exactly where he fits in down in the bullpen, but seems like everywhere he plugs him in, he does a nice job.
2 balls and a strike. Tabata tonight, 0 for 2, and has been hit by a pitch. Lindblom is the 4th Dodger pitcher of the evening. The 2-1. Swing and a miss, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Charlie Steiner and Steve Lyons continuing to fill in for Vin Scully. We are happy to report Vin is feeling much better. And because of the weather being so dicey tomorrow night, we don't expect Vin back tomorrow, but perhaps Saturday or Sunday. So we're obviously pleased and relieved that Vin is feeling better. And we're happy just to come off the bench. So it's 3-2 to Tabata here in the 7th inning. Harrison and McCutchen to follow, and Lindblom deals the full count. Right back through the middle. Lindblom's going to have to hurry. The throw's not going to be in time. That will leave a mark.
I think that hit him on the back of the leg. Lindblom wasn't in the greatest position to field. Watch him kind of spun around backwards. I think it hit him off the back of the right calf maybe. And then he can't bounce back and pick it up and throw him out. You know, the guy that used to get hit by more balls up the middle than any pitcher I ever saw was Derek Lowe. Because he was in such a poor position to field after he let go of the ball.
So the leadoff hit for Tabata. Now Neil Walker, who has gotten off to a terrible start, got a chance to begin the game on the bench with the lefty Capuano going. And so now Walker, who is 1 for 17 this year. 1 for 12 batting from the left side. Batting for Josh Harrison, who was 0 for 3. So you figure that Walker's going to try to sacrifice here to get the Pirates a runner in scoring position. But in this series against the Dodgers, why bother? They've been 0 for 14 with runners in scoring position. Dodger lead 3-2. Runner goes. Swinging a pop foul and out of play. So no sacrifice, a hit and run instead. And it's 0-1.
I might be surprised if Walker does drop a bunt down. The hit and run was on there. You see Nick Leva going through a bunch more signs. Like it might use a different guy to come up and drop a bunt down if that's what you wanted in this situation. This is a guy that's supposed to be a middle of the order type hitter for you. Gotten off to such a horrendous start, but you're expecting him to turn it around at some point. You're hoping it's right now if you're a Pirate fan. Then Hurdle might be thinking, though, he's got off to such a bad start. Why don't I just have him drop one down and move the runner ahead?
Lindblom on 0-1. High and inside. 1-1. Walker last year in 159 games at 273 with 12 home runs, 83 runs batted in. Born and raised and still lives in Pittsburgh. First round pick in 2004 by the Pirates. Another toss to first base. And Tabata has one stolen base on the year, back head first.
Tabata has good speed, and with the left-handed hitting Walker up, I think what he's going to want to do if he's swinging away, just hit it right into this area, into this gap, let Tabata have a chance to go all the way to third base on a ball hit into right field. Might have to challenge the arm of Andre Ethier out there.
Instead, 1-6-3. Two out, nobody on.
Perfect job of what Josh Lindblom was trying to do. When you're looking for a guy trying to pull, watch him just sink this ball down and away from Walker. Tries to get him to go out there and pull it. It's exactly what he wanted him to do, is roll over that thing, bounce it right back up the middle. A very easy double play. You got a guy up there that's trying to pull the ball, sink it away from him.
Lindblom out of Indiana. Up in the shadows of Purdue University. And he's got that Midwestern hard work ethic. And just watching him mature last year. McCutchen tonight has 3 hits and a run scored. Dodger lead 3-2.
McCutchen right now hitting a cool 409.
A real fine 409. What with the Beach Boys here the other day, opening day. 2 balls and a strike.
You're hitting 409. You go up there, you can take some pitches. You want everybody to see your average. If you're hitting a $192, you swing at the first pitch.
McCutchen has 9 hits in 22 at bats. 3-1. Josh Lindblom, the Dodgers, when they first signed him, weren't quite sure if he was going to be a starter or a reliever, went back and forth, but he has really grown into the role coming out of the pen. A 2-out walk to McCutchen, who's been on base all 4 plate appearances tonight.
Coming to the plate, number 14.
Casey McGee is 2 for 3 as he steps into the batter's box.
I think it'll be interesting to see the philosophy of Clint Hurdle. Right now, you're getting beat by a run. It's starting to get late. You have a good speed guy on first with 2 outs. Even though you're getting beat by a run, you try to get this guy into scoring position. I would say yes. You got to pull out the stops. You got to do something to shake up this offense. Find a way to get into scoring position. If a guy gets a base hit, it could be a huge base hit to tie the game.
McCutchen has 2 stolen bases this year. McGee takes a strike, 0-1. McCutchen had 23 stolen bases last year in 33 tries. The 0-1 to McGee. There goes the runner. The pitch is high. The throw to second base. Out at second base. And that ends the inning. A.J. Ellis guns down McCutchen to end the 7th. So we have arrived at the 7th inning stretch. And the Dodgers this year, when leading after 7, are 3-0, looking for their 6th win in their first 7 tries. And now we'll send it over to Eric Smith.
Please rise and join in the singing God Bless America. Accompanied by Nancy B. Please welcome back Cassidy Pope.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies,
Dodger Baseball is brought to you by Burger King, the proud sponsor of opening week baseball. Mark Ellis will lead off for the Dodgers in the bottom half of the 7th inning. It'll be Ellis and Kemp and Ethier. Chris Reesop beginning his 2nd inning of relief. As Josh Lindblom gets the job done for the Dodgers in the 7th. A couple of changes for the Pirates. Alex Presley is now in left field. Neil Walker remains in the game at second base. Ellis tonight is 2 for 3 with a run scored.
With D. Gordon being 0 for 4 in today's ball game, Ellis has kind of had the opportunity to go up there and swing the bat. Got a couple of hits to show for it.
Second on the Dodgers with 7 runs scored. Matt Kemp leads the club with 8. Reesop misses outside, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Dodgers looking to complete the 3-game sweep of the Pirates. Two and 2. Should the Dodgers win tonight, they'd improve their record to 6-1. That would be their best start since 1981. Dodgers began their championship season 6-0, then fell to 6-1. Now the 2-2. Matt Guerrier warming up in the Dodger bullpen. Guerrier has been very solid this year in the early going after a tough first year last year in Los Angeles.
See how Don Mattingly shuffles things around a little bit. You normally see Guerrier in the 7th.
So Ellis began the count 0-2, and now it's 3-2.
Then Kenley for the 8th and Guerra for the 9th, but they both pitched on back-to-back nights, so Don Mattingly may be wanting to conserve either one or both of those guys.
No off day again until the Dodgers travel on Monday. To the left side of the diamond, and the third baseman Alvarez makes the catch, the first out of the 7th.
Tell you what Don Mattingly would like to have is the Dodgers throw up about a 5 spot and not really worry about a closing situation. A comfortable victory would be nice.
Matt Kemp is 2 for 3 and a run scored tonight. Dodgers scored 3 in the first. Ellis singled, Kemp doubled, Ethier hit by a pitch, a Rivera sac fly, a Loney RBI single, and a Uribe RBI single. Dodgers have been shut out ever since. Pirates with solo runs in the 5th and 6th innings. Outside corner for a strike, and it's 0-1.
What? It was off the plate. Matty in the hole already. He's shaking his head a little bit. I think Matt's timing is just a teeny bit off. He's getting his hits, but he's a tad out in front. If he can go back the other way, go opposite field.
With a shift on the shortstop, Barmes cuts in front of Walker. There's 2 out.
Right fielder number 16,
Andre Ethier steps into the batter's box. A 5-game hitting streak coming into the game. He's been hit by a pitch and scored a run, fly to center, and has been struck out. And Ethier with at least 1 RBI in 5 consecutive games, and at the moment, both of those streaks are in jeopardy. One ball, no strikes to Andre Ethier, who's always enjoyed the month of April in his major league career. A .326 average in the first month of the season. Kemp, who was retired in his last at-bat here. Matt is a .331 hitter in the month of April over the course of his career. Out of play.
I've been really surprised in this series how often the Pittsburgh pitchers have tried to come in on Andre Ethier. Lately, when Andre's been going pretty good, he's been pulling the ball. I think he learned early on here in Dodger Stadium that to drive the ball to the opposite field gap, it's hard for him to get the ball out. And he hit a lot of balls to the warning track. So he just adjusted a little bit, started pulling the ball. If you throw him in, you're doing him a favor.
Ball dropped down, and it's 1-2.
Good changeup right there.
Matt Guerrier warming in the Dodger pen. He'll pitch the 8th. And we'll see what Don Mattingly does about the 9th. We'll send Guerra out again. Two and two. Andre leads the National League with 10 runs batted in. Rivera tonight's got an RBI, knocked in his 4th of the season. 2 and 2 with 2 out in the bottom of the 7th. To the right side. Underhanded toss from McGee to Reesoff. Dodgers go down quietly in the 7th. Matt Guerrier coming in for the 8th. AT&T trivia answer. The question was, of course, Roberto Clemente holds the Pirates record with exactly 3,000 base hits. Which 3 players have hit 2,000 or more with the Dodgers? Zach Wheat, Harold Pee Wee Reese, and Willie Davis. Great number 1, Pee Wee Reese. Hall of Famer, retired number, of course. And now Matt Guerrier will pitch the 8th inning for the Dodgers. Matt pitched a perfect inning last night, needing just 7 pitches to retire Garrett Jones, Rod Barajas, and Pedro Alvarez. And here in the 8th, he'll be facing Casey McGee, Alex Presley, and Clint Barmas. Guerrier off to a good start this season. First pitch, foul ball, 0-1. This is his 4th appearance. No runs and 1 hit in 3 innings.
For Guerrier, it's all about movement to both sides of the plate. The sinking fastball down and into righties. The sinking breaking slider down and away to righties. There it is.
And the one thing that's been a constant throughout this series, Dodger pitchers have been consistently ahead of the Pirates hitters. 2 walks tonight by Dodger pitching. One by McDougal, one by Lindblom. The only 2 walks of the series given up by Dodger pitching, while striking out 25 Pirates. McGee is 2 for 3. Dodgers have beaten the Pirates 5 straight and 8 of 9 going back to last year, and Guerrier just misses outside. Dodgers looking to go 6-1. Bat shattered. Easy play for Ellis. 1 out in the 8th. On April the 25th, it's USC night here at Dodger Stadium, and with the purchase of the special ticket package, you'll receive a ticket to the Coca-Cola All-You-Can-Eat Pavilion and a limited edition USC-themed portable speaker. Tickets for this package limited and only available by purchasing at Dodgers.com/USC.
Well, I think if this sets up correctly for Don Mattingly, I think he wanted to save one of his 2 guys out there tonight, either Jansen or Guerra. I think it'll be Jansen. I would think if you're in a closing situation, I bet Guerra comes back out to close. Give Jansen the night off if you have to, and then if you're in a closing situation tomorrow night, you can come back with Kenley.
2 terrific options. No balls, 2 strikes to Presley.
Guerra is one of those guys that tends to throw a few more pitches as a closer than some guys because he throws a lot of different pitches.
On 0-2, Presley. It's just outside. First at bat of the game. Presley 7 for 21 with a couple of RBIs. All 7 hits have been singles. Very fast runner. Clint Barmas is on deck. The Pirates have averaged less than 2 runs per game this year. The Dodgers lead 3-2 with 1 out in the 8th. Just got a piece of it.
It's funny because catchers usually get upset with themselves when they don't hang on to a foul tip like that. But catching is so specialized and technical. It's hard to get the ball into that glove, and when the bat redirects it, really, really hard to hang on.
Well, when he drops it, picks it up, 2 out. Chris Capuano went 5 1/3, 2 runs and 6 hits, struck out 8, didn't walk anybody. McDougal, Elbert, Lindblom, and now Guerrier have shut out the Pirates to this point. Dodgers scored 3 in the first. They haven't scored a run since. Clint Barmas is 1 for 3, and the count is 0-1 to the Rocky and Astro. 8 years in Colorado, last year in Houston, and now the starting shortstop in Pittsburgh. And it's 0-2.
Dodger bats have really gone silent after the first inning.
Scored 3 runs and 4 hits in the first. RBIs for Loney, Uribe, and Rivera.
You mentioned the excellent scoring opportunity that the Dodgers had in the 5th. They kind of wasted that.
They had a chance really to put the wood to Pittsburgh. Pirates had scored a run in the top half of the fifth on the home run by Michael McHenry. Then the Dodgers had first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the fifth. But Ethier would strike out, Rivera would fly out, Loney would ground out, and Farmas has been struck out. We'll go to the bottom of the eighth. Dodgers 3, Pirates 2. Three-two lead. It was really a battle of the starters tonight. Chris Capuano, who struggled in San Diego, certainly turned it around tonight. 7 strikeouts, no walks. An efficient 81 pitches, 54 of them for strikes. Karsten struggled in the first inning. And from that point on, Steve, he really settled down.
He really did. And, you know, you have to look at what Capuano did as well for the Dodgers. I really like the way he just challenged hitters. I mean, he struck out a lot of guys with fastballs. And for some reason, the Pirate hitters were looking for something else, taking a lot of called third strikes.
Jason Grilli. Dodgers saw him on Tuesday night. Ethier would hit that home run in the 8th. And now Juan Rivera leads off for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 8th. Rivera tonight, a sacrifice fly, and otherwise 0 for 2. Javi Guerra, a perfect 4 for 4 in save opportunities, warming up in the bullpen. Rivera .333 so far this season. Nine for 24. Correction, 8 for 24. 1 ball, 1 strike. Rivera, Loney, and Uribe to bat. So Matt Guerrier turns in another solid inning of relief. Perfect inning. 15 pitches, 13 strikes, and a strikeout. High chopper to third. Tough hop. Nice play by Alvarez. Hitting the road? Well, take the Dodgers with you all season long. Subscribe to MLB.TV today to see every Dodgers out-of-market game live, online, and on your favorite devices in HD quality. Visit Dodgers.com to order and get more details. MLB.TV, baseball everywhere. James Loney 1 for 3. At long last, his first hit of the season in the first inning, and it drove in a run. Tomorrow night, right back here on Prime at 7:10. First pitch, Clayton Richard and Aaron Harang.
Aaron Harang hoping to have a bounce-back performance after facing his old teammates in his first start. He's going to get to do it again. Hopefully the results will be a little bit better.
Harang gave up 4 runs and 7 hits last Sunday in just 4 1/3. Admitted after the game that he was rather nervous out there. Harang grew up in San Diego, went to San Diego State.
Well, he's a guy that generally pounds the strike zone just a little bit better than he did in his last start. Too many favorable hitter counts in that ball game, and then you have to come out over the plate. Guys will hit those.
Loney to short. Barmes has an easy play. And James' frustrations continue. There's 2 out. Looking ahead to the 9th inning for the Pirates. Bottom third of their order, Pedro Alvarez is 0 for 3. Michael McHenry, who hit a home run back in the 5th inning. And a pinch hitter. Uribe tonight, 2 for 3 and a run batted in. Dodger lead 3-2, each side with 8 base hits. And Uribe has 2 of them.
Uribe, after a 3-hit night last night, comes back with 2 tonight and has a chance to get another one.
So he's lifted his average to 286 in the first week of the season.
5 hits in 2 days will do that for you, won't it?
Javi Guerra warming in the Dodger bullpen. In search of his 5th save. Uribe with the base hit in the first inning into center field, his first run batted into the year. Dodgers scored all 3 of their runs in the first. And now the 1-2. And that is that. Grilli retires the Dodgers in order. Javi Guerra to pitch the 9th. The Dodgers in search of their 6th win of the season. Round pick of the Dodgers back in 2004 is a perfect 4 for 4 in save opportunities so far this year, and he's given up only 1 base hit.
This will be a nice test for him today as far as his durability is concerned. He's been in his 3rd game in a row now. We mentioned it before. He's not a guy that comes in and blows you away on 3 pitches. Can throw his fastball upwards of 96 miles an hour, but he likes to use a slider, a curveball, and a changeup as well. So he will throw the kitchen sink at you, and that tends to make a closer throw more pitches.
Tony Gwynn Jr. now in left field, defensive replacement for Juan Rivera as we go to the 9th. Pedro Alvarez will lead it off. And Alvarez has never faced Guerra before. Alvarez 0 for 3 tonight, takes a strike, 0-1. Guerra's given up 1 hit and 1 walk. In 4 innings, in search of his 5th save. And quickly ahead, 0-2. And that's been the MO for the Dodger pitchers throughout not only this game, this series. 26 strikeouts for Dodger pitching tonight, or this series, and only 2 walks. Nine strikeouts tonight. Fastball high, 1-2.
Alvarez does have massive home run power when he hits one.
But he's hitting .083. And his numbers
It's
just
going
went down. 1 out, nobody on.
That was borderline abuse right there. This guy had no answer for anything that Guerra threw up there.
Now Michael McHenry is being called back. Nate McLouth will bat instead. After a couple of seasons in Atlanta, McLouth very happy to be back with the Pirates.
You could see the relief on his face when I went down and talked to him the other day. He was just so happy to be back in a Pirate uniform. Just didn't work out at all in Atlanta.
Well, they figured he was going to be their center fielder for a very long time. Well, his shelf life wasn't very much for the Braves, and so he's back in Pittsburgh.
This guy was an established major league player that had some big numbers. He ended up back in AAA.
Two balls and no strikes. McLouth just 1 for 5 this season. Gary delivered a strike, and it's 2-1. 93-mile-an-hour fastball for Javi Guerra, who is 21 out of 23 in save opportunities last year. Perfect 4 for 4 so far this year. And the 2-1. Could be an easy play for Ellis, and there's 2 out. So the Dodgers are an out away from going 6-1 for the first time in 31 years. Last time the Dodgers were 6-1, 1981. And Rod Barajas will pinch hit. The last time the Dodgers got off to a start like this one, pending the outcome of this confrontation between Guerra and Barajas.
Dodger fans booing Barajas. That's almost like a warm welcome for him.
Barajas, 077. 1 hit in 13 at-bats. Oh, he caught Guerra plenty last year. Just outside and low, 1 ball, no strikes. 16 home runs with the Dodgers last year. He's been one of those all-or-nothing guys. When he puts a charge into it, it goes a long way, but tends to strike out an awful lot.
And hit a ton of pop flies.
Woo. He was looking for the great equalizer on that one. Comes up empty. So Chris Capuano is an out away from his first win as a Dodger. Javi Guerra an out away from his 5th save of the season. And the Dodgers an out away from their 6th win of the year. The 1-1. Popped up. This'll do it. D. Gordon making the call. And the catch. And the Dodgers are off to their best start since 1981. Improving their record to 6-1 as they beat the Pirates 3-2. So the Dodgers 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Pirates 2 runs, 8 hits, and no errors. That is a wrap for us. Post game coming up next. The Dodgers are now 6-1.